Welcome to Caught on Clips, a show that takes you around the world, highlighting some of the wildest, wackiest, jaw-dropping videos, from heart-stopping to heartwarming, fascinating to funny. Look, these are videos we don't want you to miss. I'm your host, Holly Furfer. When it came to saving a life, NYPD officers didn't even blink, which is impressive considering most of us hesitate just deciding what to eat for lunch. Spotting a woman in the East River, they immediately launched themselves into the icy water like action movie heroes who missed their calling in Hollywood. Freezing temperatures? Questionable river quality? Nope. They waded right in and hauled her to safety. Just another day of things definitely not mentioned in the recruiting pamphlet.
Here, take my hand. You take my hand. You good? Help her up, help her up.
Now to the freezing waters off Washington State. A worried family member called the Coast Guard when some of her family didn't make it home, setting off a life-saving mission just in the nick of time. After 2 long hours hanging on for dear life and each other atop their capsized boat near Chinook, Washington, a father and son were finally spotted by a U.S. Coast Guard MH-60 Jayhawk crew. The rescue team swooped in and lifted them to safety.
6-3, we have both survivors in the cabin. Both survivors in the cabin will be recovering swimmer and heading to...
Suffering from hypothermia, they were rushed to medical help. Thankfully, they both are okay. All right, this next clip is of a train that really shouldn't. Picture this, a 2-car light rail train headed toward downtown San Francisco around 8:30 in the morning. And the driver decides, oh yeah, it's a perfect time for a little nap. Yeah, head drops, full, I'm just gonna rest my eyes energy. So the train pops out of the tunnel like a caffeinated groundhog, starts speeding up, and then begins flailing side to side. The operator snaps awake, probably realizing, oh, right, I have a job, and starts mashing buttons like someone trying to close 47 pop-up ads. The train screeches to a stop, casually skipping one of its scheduled stops. According to the San Fran Transportation Agency, the train was whipping around that curve at, get this, 50 miles an hour, which is apparently not the normal recommended or remotely sane speed. But hey, at least someone was awake by the end. All right, now presenting what might be the most underwhelming bank heist ever attempted. Seriously, I've seen grocery store lines with more tension. This is our next clip. It's a totally normal day in Tampa, Florida. Sunshine, traffic, jealousy if you live in a snowy climate. And then in walks this guy to the bank, looking like he's just popping in for a cup of coffee. He walks up to an employee with the enthusiasm of someone asking where the bathroom is, and then just pulls out a gun, like he's showing off a coupon. The employee gives him the universal, fine, whatever, let's just get this over with, tour straight to the vault. After doing his thing, the cameras catch him on clip, casually strolling out the front door with all the urgency of a man returning a Redbox DVD. Just absolutely zero drama, zero finesse, zero anything. The whole thing was less a bank heist and more of a Florida man accidentally committed a felony on his way to lunch situation, you know? All right, 3 teens apparently decided that neighborhood car doors were the perfect playground. They were cruising around testing unlocked cars like it was a weird game of what can I grab today? We assume having a great time until police showed up.
Yeah, they just touched another door handle. Yep, they're checking one more. One just split behind a residence. You got the other 2. All right, yeah, you guys are about 10, 15 feet away from him. He was pulling things out, like dumping them out of his pocket.
What'd you drop?
The impromptu scavenger hunt ended and police hauled them off before anyone lost their Bluetooth speaker or grandma's garden gnome. All right, we all know people lose their minds over celebrities. And this next clip, oh, it's the proof. Grab your popcorn because someone clearly forgot how personal space works. Ariana Grande was just minding her own glam life at the Wicked for Good premiere, walking the red carpet like a sparkling queen, when some overzealous fan apparently forgot how ropes work and decided, yeah, I'm just going to charge her because nothing says I love you like running full speed at a celebrity who's clearly busy being fabulous. In this next clip, 5 people got an unexpected lesson in why boats float. Coast Guard rescue teams were called in after their sailboat Magic Bus, yeah, that was the name of the boat, decided to take a dive off Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. Clinging to a life raft like it was a VIP lounge, the 5 on board were airlifted into a rescue helicopter by the Coast Guard, because apparently Magic Bus wasn't magical enough to keep them dry or afloat.
And survivors inside the cabin.
All right, now we meet the newest tiny troublemaker in the Animals of the Night exhibit at the Memphis Zoo. No idea why it's called the Animals of the Night, but I'm pretty sure it's not what you're thinking. These are tamanduas. You know it as kind of an anteater. This is Mom, Winnie, and her new baby. Dad, Mr. Wendell, yeah, that's his name, has been sent off to his own man cave so Winnie can do all the bonding and maybe sneak in a nap. Once the baby's old enough to spill the tea, they'll figure out if it's a boy or girl and give it a proper name. But for now, the little critter is on exhibit with Mom, stealing hearts and probably plotting tiny mischief. All right, got to take a quick break. More Caught on Clips on the other side. Welcome back to Caught on Clips, the show that brings you the best craziest and weirdest moments that exist on the internet, just for you. I'm your host, Holly Furfur. Columbus police got a call no one ever wants to get in the middle of the night. A car full of people had crashed.
Calm down.
The first police officer arrives as passerbys became good Samaritans and tried to help the 6 people in the car escape. He starts pulling people out, realizing most teenagers are trapped inside. More police arrive on the scene, and they realize one of the teens was pinned down underneath the car, and they would have to act fast and lift that car off if he was going to survive. We love an aw story, and this one's a gem. Experts at the Marine Mammal Center in California got a call about a tiny southern sea otter pup. They promptly named Caterpillar, because who doesn't love a weird name for a tiny fluff ball? Anyway, after safely securing the pup in a crate, the team recorded its squeaky little cries over a Bluetooth speaker, basically sending a text to mom saying, "Hey, come get your kid ASAP." After about 2 hours of this otter-themed Tinder routine, a female otter finally answered the call, repeatedly following the boat when rescuers suspected they had found the MIA mom. The pup was placed in the water, mom swooped in, grabbed it, and they swam off together like nothing had happened. See, sometimes even otter moms need a little tech support. All right, this next clip is a masterclass in how not to quit while you're behind. Police in Atlanta got a tip that a man wanted for homicide was cruising through a neighborhood like it was a casual Sunday drive. One squad car pulls him over, then 2 more roll up for dramatic effect. Our guy suddenly realizes he's boxed in, 1 cop in front, 1 behind, and thinks, I'll just drive away. Yeah, genius, except cars are solid objects, and apparently physics is still a thing. Then he decides, okay, fine, I'll try the old magically teleport past solid objects trick. But in a plot twist, he throws his gun away first because priorities, right? Spoiler alert, it does not end well, and honestly, how could it? A for effort, though, really. If you've ever thought, hey, what if I just jump off this perfectly good cliff? Maybe don't. One guy tried it, and spoiler alert, did not end well. You see, the guy is hanging onto the rock for dear life there, way up there. Yeah, this is going to be tricky. Here comes the rescue helicopter, swooping in like a Marvel hero as onlookers start to gather, because nothing says community bonding like watching someone hang off a cliff while a helicopter tries not to knock them off. Rescuers gingerly lower themselves down to the stuck guy, probably holding their breath the whole way, because one wrong move and it's watching physics in action, Cliff Edition. And up they go. And, up and up and up. Into their dangling ride like it's the world's most extreme elevator. The guy was taken to the hospital and is said to be okay. This next video is a reminder that there are eyes everywhere. And thank goodness for one woman in Florida. A warning, this video is disturbing. Security cameras caught a couple walking through the parking lot when the guy who seems to be holding on to the woman hits her hard over the head. It appears she's trying to get away when he starts to hit and punch her repeatedly. When she tries to run, he chases after her and starts hitting her again, drags her back again to pick up the stuff she dropped. He picks it up and drags her with him as they start to walk away. Thankfully, a police officer happened to drive by and pulled into the parking lot and saw what was happening. Police finally tracked the guy down to his house, where he was attempting his grand escape in the classic I'm totally invisible outfit, hoodie, sunglasses, and delusion. He tries to sneak out the back door like no one would notice, and shocker, that went exactly how you think it did. Now we head to Sao Paulo, Brazil, where a traffic camera caught a totally normal, peaceful evening commute. Until it wasn't. You see traffic doing its thing right up until the building, packed with fireworks, blows up like it wanted to host its own surprise festival. Nothing says rush hour like an unexpected pyrotechnics show. Cars veer off like, nope, not today. Guys on motorcycles ditch their bikes and run for their lives. And everyone else scrambles in every direction while the fire keeps raging like it's got something to prove. Sometimes you flee the streets in total panic, and sometimes you're forced to just sit there and deal with life's weirdness. Case in point, Washington State, where traffic came to a dead stop because a giant sea lion, just posted up on the roadway, vibing, chilling, living his best flippered life because someone doesn't care a flipper about your commute. Now for a classic, how did this even happen moment. Firefighters had to rescue a guy who somehow ended up stranded on a ledge above a channel after getting swept more than a mile downstream in fast-moving water. A heroic bystander somehow just happened to have a rope lying around and casually tossed it down for the guy to hang on to. Meanwhile, a rescuer dangling off a really, really big crane swoops in like a human action figure and flies him to safety. Whew, talk about teamwork. It's time to watch lemurs eat because, really, why not? These tiny, big-eyed fluff balls are basically acrobats with a serious snack addiction. Native to Madagascar, mostly nocturnal and living in social groups called troops, they somehow manage to act like the drama queens of the animal kingdom while demolishing a salad bar and apparently popcorn. Why do lemurs always look like they just saw a ghost or caught you red-handed with your hand in their popcorn bowl? It's that classic wide-eyed, did you really just do that look? Because they're tiny, tiny furry judgment machines with built-in panic mode. On that note, taking a quick break. More Caught on Clips just ahead. Welcome back to Caught on Clips. We found some pretty remarkable clips to show you while you were away. Wait until you see these. I'm your host, Holly Furfer. A shocking and violent assault unfolded in Milford, Massachusetts, leaving one man seriously injured and authorities searching for answers. Surveillance footage captured the terrifying scene beginning outside a local market and continuing inside the store. According to Milford police, the suspect allegedly attempted to run the victim over with his SUV. When the victim managed to escape into the store, the suspect pursued him armed with a baseball bat. When police arrived, the assailant had already fled in his truck, leaving bystanders shaken by the brazen attack. Serious charges are now pending as police continue their investigation. It's probably been just a minute since you took your driving test, so here's a friendly refresher. When you see flashing lights and hear sirens, move over and stop. Yes, really. No, it's not a suggestion. This isn't a game of how fast can I go to get past the fire truck before they notice. It's called not getting a ticket or worse. San Bernardino County firefighters earned their superhero badges this week after rescuing 9 dogs from a house fire. Yes, 9. Because apparently this family was running a full-time canine commune, and honestly, I might be a little jealous.
We have a working fire.
Crews showed up in the middle of the night, and the homeowners basically met them pleading to save their dogs. Flames and smoke were pouring out of the front of the house, so firefighters launched into full go-time mode. They crawled through the smoke-filled hallways, used fancy equipment, and basically played the world's most intense game of hide and seek.
We have 2 outside and the family's worth of 6 more puppies inside.
After several suspenseful minutes, they pulled out 3 adult dogs and 6 tiny puppies. Sadly, 1 pup didn't make it despite everything paramedics tried. The cause is still under investigation, but officials did offer one very important reminder. If your house catches fire, get out immediately. Do not go back inside. Let the professionals handle the hero stuff. All right, now come with me to Houston, where one guy tried the bold grab the bag and run technique, and shockingly, it went exactly how you think. A guy strolls into a department store in Houston, acting like he's about to drop serious cash, just browsing, comparing options, living his best fake shopper life. But the eye in the sky cameras got suspicious when he wandered over to the girls' backpacks and just stood there like are you communing with the merchandise, meditating, waiting for it to speak to you? Sir, this is a TJ Maxx, not your emotional support corner. He eventually snaps out of the whatever trance he was in and starts lifting items all over the store like he's filling a go bag for the apocalypse. Then he swaggers up to the checkout like he's actually going to pay for any of it. The employee rings it up, bags it, sets it down, and that's when our guy decides time for crime. He grabs the bag. The employee grabs it back. They have a tiny showdown. Then, for reasons absolutely beyond human comprehension, he pulls out his phone. Maybe to show a picture of his cat, maybe an email from his landlord, who knows? We'll never know. But he snatches the bag again and runs for the exit like a raccoon escaping a trash can. All right, as long as we're talking shoplifters, let's head to Atlanta and double down. You see this guy wandering around a camera store in a busy Atlanta mall, just browsing or, casing the joint. He's looking, pretending to be interested, even tosses out a friendly hey to another shopper. Acting totally natural. Well, as natural as someone who's planning a heist can act. Then, when he thinks no one is watching, he grabs a $4,000 piece of equipment, slips it into his pocket like he's performing a magic trick. But buddy, it's a camera store. Camera. As in, everything you do is literally being filmed in 4K. With great lighting. After his grand performance, he just casually strolls out of the store like he just didn't commit a felony in the most obvious place imaginable. Bravo, sir. Truly groundbreaking criminal strategy. Now to Las Vegas, where one man took what happens in Vegas way too literally. A guy decided to rob a casino while dressed like he was heading into a Fortnite tournament. ballistic helmet, blue sunglasses, black face mask, and a budget security-style jacket in blue and yellow. Subtle, right? He strolls up to the cashier's cage, whips out an AR-style rifle, and demands cash. Security guard sees and says nope and backs away, like he suddenly remembered he left his stove on. The employee hands over the money because this is Vegas, and honestly, they've probably seen weirder. Our wannabe action movie villain simply walks out the exact same way he came in, like this was all part of his afternoon errands. Okay, so a truck gets stolen in Florida. Shocking, I know. And the thief decides he's basically starring in his own undercover spy movie. Over the past month, he tried to hide the truck by removing the toolbox, ditching the ladder rack, and swapping license plates like he was running a tag of the day calendar. But naturally, this did not fool anyone. Cops eventually caught up with him, and instead of surrendering like a sensible human, he kicked off a little car chase. So hop in, we're going for a ride.
Whoops, slow roll. Pulling immediately into the marathon pace off, and now he's getting back inside the vehicle. Gray hat, gray shorts, backpack. Gray hat, he's out running through the backpack in the woods, carrying him out. Units come 10-5.
And that backpack he chucked over the fence, try to act surprised here. It was packed with meth and drug paraphernalia because nothing says I'm totally innocent like throwing your evidence mid-getaway. All right, this next clip, police get called out to the foothills for a vehicle trespass, but it's not exactly what you think. It's really not what anyone thought.
Very large bear in the front seat.
Yeah, a bear. Stuck in the car. Yep, stuck. The first deputy looks inside and, yep, there's a giant, furry, extremely annoyed bear trapped in the front seat like it's waiting for valet service. Backup arrives and everyone takes a moment to mentally prepare because there's really no training manual for what to do when a bear steals your Subaru. All right, now this begs the question, how do you get him out?
Yogi, calm down.
Using a very advanced tactical method, aka opening the door from a very safe distance, they free the bear, who storms out like a grumpy customer, leaving a 1-star Yelp review. Consider this your friendly reminder. Lock your car because it keeps out criminals and also large wildlife that absolutely does not care about your insurance deductible. All right, on that note, we have to say goodbye, but don't worry, we will be searching for more caught on clips for next time.